What's going on, guys? Naz here from the Spooling Up channel. I know I've been a little bit quiet with the Mark II Ford Fiesta XR2, but there's good reason for it. I literally sent my carburettor away to be completely reconditioned and refurbished, and I've just got it back today. I think it's been about a month since I dropped the carb off to the guy, but there was a bit of waiting time because he's really busy. So I've got the carb back now. It looks great. It's already operating so much more when you try and move some of the parts with your hands, and I'll try and break down to you exactly what was wrong with it once we take a look at it. But yeah, let's go and have a look at the carb. Today I'm hoping to make some gaskets out of gasket paper, get the carb back on and see if the car runs for longer, because if you can remember, it kept on cutting out once it sort of warmed up. I don't think it was getting the fuel that it needed. Some things were blocked up inside the carburetor, but now it's fixed, so fingers crossed it all works perfectly. Okay guys, so back at the XR2. Here are obviously the old gaskets where the carb was sitting before. One on the back as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use these. I'm going to trace around them, and then I'm going to cut fresh ones out of gasket paper. Hopefully they come through nicely, and then yeah, we'll take a good close look at the carb and I'll try and describe to you and show you exactly what was wrong with it. I've got a list from the guy who refurbed it, so I'll just be using that. He's the professional at the end of the day. He knows exactly what he's talking about, and some of you may understand it, but let me try and make some of these up first. Having just got my carburettor back from Paul at Weber Carb Reconditioning Services, I must say I'm really happy and chuffed to bits with how it looks. It's a lot more clean, and everything that was seized before is moving absolutely beautifully and a lot more freely. I did ask for a rundown of the issues with the carb so I could let you guys know, and also so I'd know myself, and I was told that the secondary throttle spindle was partly seized due to corrosion, and there was plenty of corrosion within the internals of the carb as well. I was also told that there was oxidization behind the pump diaphragm and power valve covers, and also the accelerator pump return spring was stuck, and the last thing I think was the auto choke pull down diaphragm was seized. I don't know how much that means to you guys. Certainly to me, I'm a newbie with carbs, I don't know a lot about it at all, but I'm really glad that things should be operating as they should now. Also, I've cut out my paper gaskets. These ones that I used are a lot thicker than the ones that came in the kit I had before, so I'm hoping that these will provide a better seal onto the inlet manifold. But all that's left now is to connect everything up and put some more fuel in the car and test it out. Okay, so first things first, get that gasket and plate back on. Everything there seems fine. Now just to sit the carb on top. Time to get this bad boy seated on now. There we go. So all that's left now is to connect up the fuel, the vacuums and the auto choke, put some fuel in the car and cross my fingers and hope that everything works how I'd like it to. Now time for some fuel. Right guys, so since getting the carburettor back yesterday, I did get the car running, but it was just doing the same thing over and over again. When the choke went off, it was just cutting out, and I was kind of hoping that having it reconditioned would solve all the issues, and from then on it would be perfect, but it isn't. So what actually happened was, after me playing around and having a look at a lot of things, I found that there's a problem that's been there the whole time that has been something that completely got overlooked. So it's actually this anti-run-on valve, or anti-run-on solenoid valve. The wire for it was actually broken, and I've got the connector somewhere, but it was basically hanging on by a thread. So I think that was causing issues all along. However, all of the issues that I had with the carb would have definitely caused many problems if the car was on the road. However, here idling on the driveway, I don't think it was causing any issues at the current time. But now, when I turn the ignition on, that solenoid's able to get power, and it's able to activate, and then the car no longer cuts out now. But I'll do a quick demonstration to show you guys what happens when I disconnect that wire, because the car just completely died straight away. So glad that I found that. Yeah, let's take a look. So now with the ignition on, you can hear the solenoid being energized. And basically what that solenoid does is controls a vacuum within the carb, which will be able to shut the fuel off. There you go. There's proof that that was causing the problem. Right guys, so there you have it. Definitely found the cause of the problem there. Don't get me wrong, the car doesn't run perfectly, but the carburettor definitely needs to be tuned. But it's as good as I'm going to be able to get it for now. Doesn't start first time every time, and also after giving it the full beans on the revs, sometimes it cuts out, but it's a million miles better than it was before. I do have another loom indoors which I'm going to have to use to try and get the connector for this wire, and then once that's done, hopefully it will cause me no more issues. But yeah, obviously plenty of stuff still needs to be done, but like I always keep saying with this car, it's one step closer to the end goal. So I think at the minute the car's running pretty well considering everything. I've done quite a lot of work to it. When I think about it, I've done the cam belt, I've done the timing with the timing gun, I've done fully reconditioned carburettor, taken the fuel tank off, fully flushed it and put fresh fuel in. I've changed the fuel lines in the engine bay, I've done antifreeze and coolant, I've done a water pump, I've done a full oil change, I've done the distributor cap and rotor, and anything else you guys can think of. Inlet manifold, exhaust gone on. So I've definitely done a lot of work on the car. It's as good as I'm going to get it for now, I think. What I need to do is get somebody to tune it, that carb up, but I also want to get all of the brakes done. Want to do the calipers, pads and discs, and the rear drums and shoes and cylinders. Get that all on, get that all bled up, make sure I get a brake pedal, and then I can try and move the car, and then from there I can decide if any gears need adjusting, if the clutch pedal needs adjusting, and just in general get on with things. Once the car's driving, that's a big chunk of the mechanical work out of the way. So yeah, just gonna sort of get my head down and think about what to do next when I get a next bit of free time, and money of course as well. Everything costs. But yeah, for now guys, that's it. That's the end of the video. Oh, also actually, before I finish up, I'm gonna do a day when I just sort out loom things. I just want to get things working. So I know some of the wiring's a bodge. The wiring on that anti-run-on solenoid valve is a bodge for now. Obviously the car's not going anywhere, so it doesn't really matter so much. But once I slowly get everything working, I can then decide what to cut off the other loom that I've got to make adequate repairs, man. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.